Yes, people, we are back. Sounds of Motion Hyrule with the dirty mix right now. But right now, we got our guest inside. Our guest for May is the man like Byron Gold. Make some noise for Byron Gold inside.
Hey.
How you doing, Byron? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing, man? Thanks for inviting me on the show.
Thanks for coming down. It's been a while. We've been trying to do it, innit?
It's been a long time, but we made it happen.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to take it right back to the start of the start.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a singer, songwriter.
Yeah.
You also lead choirs.
Yeah.
But we're going to take it back to the beginning. So what is your musical background and what's your earliest memory of you? What's your earliest influence in music?
Do you know what? I remember Sister Act 2.
Oh shit, Sister Mary Clarence, yeah?
Yeah.
Lauryn Hill, yeah?
And I remember when the guy did Happy Day. Mm-hmm. And then he did the high note.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's an iconic moment.
Yeah, I saw I could do that. And then from that point onwards, that's how I got into like singing. And then it just so happened that the choir thing came afterwards because I was just very interested in the way like voices could layer on top of other voices, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's kind of how it all came about. Okay.
That's really cool. So in terms of like your background, in terms of like where did you grow up? You're from London, right?
Yeah, from London. So I now live in East London, but originally I grew up in South London.
Okay.
But funny thing, So Solid, I'm from the same state as So Solid.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I was growing up, everyone thought that what's the first song they had? The Sentimental Things.
Yeah.
Everyone thought that was my kitchen.
Oh, swear.
Because you know the way the states are.
Yeah.
It all looks the same.
Yeah.
So all my friends were like, "Oh, they filmed it in your kitchen." But obviously it wasn't. But yeah, so I remember seeing that, and I remember like all the cameras used to come around on the estate and stuff, and they used to film like the bill, and they used to film like scenes of So Solid's videos and stuff. So yeah, that was where I grew up. So it was almost kind of
Battersea.
like Battersea, South London. But that was before it was the Battersea that we know now.
Yeah.
Like Battersea was.
It was good.
It was the one. You need to know what road to go down and not to go down.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I remember hearing stories there.
Yeah,
and that leads me kind of into my next question because like we go back.
We
met you. I met in college. We met.
Yeah.
And talk about your musical journey there because that's where I first met you.
Yeah.
You know, we're both young bucks and you were doing your singing thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's loads of people that went to that college that like ended up, and we were just talking about it outside, that ended up doing bits. We had like Mr. Wong, not on a longage. Sharifa was on the song with So Solid, which is actually mad hearing that you came from Battersea as well. Zalon Thompson.
My vocal trainer.
He was your vocal trainer.
My vocal
he
trainer.
sang with in Amy Winehouse's band, for the longest time. Ainsley Jones, you know, a fellow guard, Grammy nominated twice. Tinashe Rationale.
Yes,
come on, there's like so many people from that course that
and then
like,
you
and us, man,
yeah, exactly.
Come on now. Like there was a few of us that we were that class.
We were
alumni. You know, you have to give ratings, and I'm happy to see you still doing your thing.
Thanks, man.
But tell us about how what part that played in your journey in terms of, because you told us about Zalon was your vocal trainer, and like how did that time play a part in what came next?
Do you know, it's crazy because when I finished, I didn't do too well in school. I really struggled in school. Yeah. But when I left, I was like, if I'm going to do music, I need to think about it seriously because I didn't really have a proper education to fall back on. So my higher education, as in college, would have been the one that I would have had to lean on. So I remember there was pressure to maybe not do music because it's not as recognized. But I thought, I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah. And then I think after the second year, that's when I thought, this music thing is for me. Yeah. And I remember like seeing people like you and like everybody kind of was just so talented and everybody was kind of doing their own thing. So Hammersmith definitely kind of helped shape.
It was a part of the journey.
Yeah, but then also, I don't know if you feel like, I feel like you had to know what you're doing. Yeah. And you also had to like be proactive in making opportunities outside of what you was doing. Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of that's what really helped me with Hammersmith. I
think, because that was the thing. Like people made like mad connections in college and it wasn't all because the teachers were like trying to put us in a certain, they weren't really, they did their best and they did great.
But it was very guideline.
Yeah. It was like
reading between the lines.
Exactly. And I felt that a lot of people took the initiative in that place. And I think that's what you're kind of getting at as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I totally see that, and you could see like people were hungry there.
That's
like,
it.
So many people, like them studios, you could never get in them.
But you know what? That's funny how I got into choirs because I saw an advert and they said, if you want more studio time, come to Lyric Theatre. Lyric Hammersmith, which is up the road.
Right, yeah, I remember that place.
Yeah, so I called them up saying, what can I do to get more studio time? And she was like, oh, you got to perform. I was like, perform? And that's when she explained to me that their studio wasn't a music studio. It was like a performance studio.
Right.
But I already signed up, so I thought, I might as well do it. And then kind of next thing you know, the lady there asked me to start helping out the choir and stuff. And then kind of just took over.
That's mad.
Yeah. But again, looking in between the lines and finding your own opportunities, that's where that came from.
No, I hear that. Okay, so you're saying about you went to the Lyric Theatre. Yeah. So how did you get your start? Like, when did you start leading choirs? When did you start?
Well, so after the Lyric, there was a group. The lady there was like, I really like the way you talk to young people. I really like the way that kind of you bring your peers. Yeah. And you got like a relaxing energy around you. So she asked me to start helping out, and I was like, yeah, no problem. And then they had what was called Lyric Voices. So it was like a youth choir that they had there, and they asked me to assist in it because they knew I was doing music at the same time. And then I think after the first year, it wasn't going that well. And then they said, how would you feel about taking over? And I was like, for real? And I wasn't too sure, but I said, I'm going to try it. And then literally, like, once I took over, I was like, boom, and then we ended up being like the go-to choir of the youth choir of West London. Yeah. Like, we did a duet with Sophie Alex Bextor. We did a performance with Beverly Knight. We performed for the mayor of Hammersmith and Fulham. Like, we doing bits, and we was like only within like our third year.
That's all within the first 3 years.
That was all in the first 3 years, and then the producers were like, "Wow, this is crazy. We don't even know what to do." With the choir, because it's almost like taking a life of its own. Yeah. And that's when I knew that there was something that I was doing that was right, and there was something about the way that, these harmonies and the arrangements were coming together, and people were feeling it, and they just like, it was just giving a lot of good energy out there. So that's kind of how that happened.
Oh, crazy. Okay, and how do you, like, in terms of putting your choirs together, like, do the people come and audition, or is it just anyone can come along and find their voice, so to speak? Or
so
how do you do it?
There's two choirs I lead now. So the Stratford East Singers, that's my community choir, that's in East London. So it's more of a trial session. So we're closed at the moment because we can only take 60 members per session. Right. But the idea is that if you put your name down when we have a trial session, you come down, you dram, you have fun with us, you sing some songs, and if you like the vibe, then you're in. And then with my other choir, the Go Vocal Collective, that's more of the corporate choir. That's more of a kind of a referral or a recommendation. Right. So that's how it works.
Dope. And what kind of stuff do you sing with each of these choirs? Like, what or is it similar repertoire? Or?
There's a lot of crossover, but with the Go Vocal Collective, we specialize in gospel, soul, R&B, and a cappella singing. That's kind of our specialist USB. So we can replicate a record, but just make it all a cappella. And then with the Stratford East Singers, it's more feel-good community music. So we can take like a Beyonce song and turn it into like an R&B gospel song, or we can take like a Take That song and turn it into like a soulful song. That's kind of the difference between the two.
Dope.
Thanks, man.
All right, so like, listen, like, stunt on a minute. Where have you played, like, with each of these choirs? Where has it taken you? What heights have you scaled?
So Troxy was definitely a big thing, because that was our home venue, and that was sold out, and that was when we did sing Ultimate Acapella for Sky. But I think one of the biggest things is when we did with the Go Vocal Collective, I did Naughty Boy. So Naughty Boy came to East Ham. It was for a festival called Under the Stars, and I remember saying to the guys, there was a magazine, we was rehearsing, and it was a magazine, and it said Under the Stars, Naughty Boy, and I go to my choir, we're performing like that, because there's no way Naughty Boy is coming to my ends and we're not doing something about it. Like, we are the choir to go to. And then the Newham Council called me up and was like, "Oh, do you want to open up for Naughty Boy?" And it was like, "Yeah, and we want to sing with Naughty Boy as well." And then we rehearsed, and then we went out, and I think it was 40,000 people. And it was a live band. It was just amazing. I remember, like, we had to stand still. Like, we all fought with Michael Jackson for those 5 seconds of silence. It was like, the Go Vocal Collective, and it was like, shh. And you just saw the steam come out. It was like, yeah. And then boom, boom, and then the band. Do you know what I mean? And the band came in, and he was like, boom. But yeah. So that was definitely one of the highlights. And then we've done some international stuff as well. So yeah, but that was one of my biggest moments, I think, in terms of singing with the choir, because that was dope. That was seriously dope.
Wicked, man. Hey, sick stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about your own music, because you know you do the community stuff and you do things for people. But you also got to talk about what you do for yourself. Okay, so let's talk about your music. So how would you describe your sound?
So I describe my sound as like soulful R&B, and then you can hear the influence in terms of like the choirs and like the harmonies that I do. So in a lot of my tracks, you'll hear undertones of gospel and big harmony stuff. Even though it sounds small, like it's good. There's a lot of big harmony in the stuff that I do, because it's almost like I can see harmonies as well as hear harmonies before a track's finished. So if you play me a song, I can almost hear the harmony before it's coming.
Right. Do you craft harmonies first before you even craft the lyrics?
Sometimes, yeah. So normally I can hear like if I think of a chorus, I always go to the top harmony first and then make my way down.
Right.
And then I can always think of an outro before. So like in all the arrangements I've done, the song never sounds the same, because I always hear the outro different from what they've done. And it's almost like I can hear how it should be in terms of a choir sound before I've even got to the end. It's crazy. So you'll hear that a lot in my solo stuff.
And what's the most tracks, the most amount of harmony tracks you've had on a song? For one hook or something.
I think it was 63.
63?
Yeah, but I've got a song called Greatness, and it features my choir. And I remember thinking that I had to have my hard drive out when we went to the studio, because it was mad.
Got your RAM working overtime.
You're just looking, it's like, oh man, even color coding ain't working. It's just like system overload. I was like, let's get the track done. But yes, I think it was 63 tracks.
Mad.
And that wasn't even including the instruments. That was just voices. But you'll hear it. It's a big choir sound.
No, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna ask a bit of an obscure one. Okay, so what do you think of you would say is the state of R&B in 2024?
I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting because I feel like things like Top of the Pops and CDUK and commercial radio was slowly kind of being replaced for things like this and things like Spotify playlists and people's personal taste in music. So,
what about the actual music though?
I don't know. It's hard. I feel like the production stepped up, but I feel like the vocals have stepped down.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and me personally,
in terms of like what they're saying, like the lyrics themselves or the actual vocals?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. Because I mean, I'm new school, but I like an old school, like Luther Vandross, like that type of Prince, Michael Jackson, those type of like voices really like inspire me. And you know, like for me, I don't really hear a marriage of the two anymore.
Right.
Like you can hear really good production, but then you can hear a lot of like auto-tune or digitalized like voicings that to me isn't very inspiring in terms of vocally. But there are some really creative writers out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear that. You know what? Like, before he comes and asks this question, I'm just gonna say, like, I saw this meme and it was like, the biggest problem with R&B nowadays is no one grabs the air no more. Need some more people grabbing the air, like, to really sing about some stuff. Go on. No,
it's just a quick question, to be honest, Like, so obviously, I heard you answered the question about the state of hip hop. I just want to know what you think about the state of gospel. Because that's something you touched upon. And said it was a big influence of yours. The harmonies and stuff. So I just wanted to know what you think about that.
I mean, to me, I feel like gospel has always kind of been its own lane. But I do feel like gospel artists get a bit of a hard time, especially when they cross over to commercial, which to me is a blessing, because if somebody who's not necessarily into gospel can hear gospel when they get touched by it, it's like, to me, that's a blessing.
Do you feel they get the hard time from the gospel fans?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the church can be the hardest critic when it comes to gospel, because I guess it's that standard, you know?
I hear that.
You think about preaching to choir?
All right.
Any more critical than UK fucking hip-hop fans? I don't know.
Hey, listen, probably not.
It could be a verses.
Trust me, innit? All right, so tell us about your latest single.
Yeah, so my latest single, Dancing in the Rain, it's actually about the music industry.
Is it?
Yeah, so there's a sample in it, and the first thing you hear is "Look at me, I'm standing here." It's like everyone's talking about R&B. We want more R&B artists. And like there's artists who are standing right there waiting just to open the door, but no one's giving them that door. Dope. So that's kind of what Dancing in the Rain is like. Even though you keep going, you're not happy about it, but you just keep dancing in that rain. And then you'll hear like there's a little Marvin Gaye influence as well on the ad-libs and stuff. So yeah, that's me. That's me.
Dope. Okay, and that's dropped. When did it drop?
It dropped about a week ago. Yeah.
All right. And is there a project coming as well?
Yeah, there's a project coming. So there's going to be 2 more singles that are going to follow that. And also like the feedback that I'm getting from Dancing in the Rain is quite overwhelming. I didn't really feel like it was going to get this much positive feedback. So chances are I'm going to have to do a video. I'm being forced to do a video.
You're going to do a visual?
Yeah, I'm going to do a visual. I've got you.
You weren't planning to originally?
No, I mean, normally, because nowadays, you don't necessarily have to do visuals. You can just do something in your car or something, chilling, and that's classified as a visual. But since like people seem to really like feel like the track, I'm going to put the effort in and do the visual.
Okay.
Dancing in the Rain, like Ray J.
Do like a new take on the old school thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the S, man. That's gonna be the thumbnail for the video.
Yeah, love it. All right, and so the project, is there a name for the project yet?
Not yet.
It's working on an untitled thing. Yeah, okay. All right, and what's in your playlist right now?
My playlist right now, all my days got Rationale's in my playlist.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's got a song, I think, Father Figure.
Yeah.
That's my tune. That's my tune. Also,
he's dope, man. He's dope. Big up to Nashe.
He's massive. Also, J. Cole. Like I love all of J. Cole's old stuff. TLC. Funny enough, I've been going because I watched a documentary recently, so it got me into a TLC. And one of my favorite female singers of all time, Toni Braxton.
Tony. Do you know what as well? Yeah, like Toni Braxton, love Toni Braxton. But you know TLC as a group, like as an R&B group, when you listen to them, listen back to some of their songs, like even like Waterfalls, I didn't appreciate how good a song that is. Like
and Creep.
Yeah, Creep
them horns. Like how do they even think of that?
Bruv, like
Yeah, that's what got me into it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and watch it. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. So okay. So who do you say is the most impactful artist to you in the last 10 years? So it could be like a personal one, or it could be like who you think on a large scale in terms of like your genre or your kind of area of music.
Yeah, I'd say in terms of opening doors, but more of an underground artist, Labyrinth. Because he's UK, people don't really celebrate him as much. But what he did, and also he was the first. I think he's the only artist to ever be signed to Simon Cowell's label without going through X Factor.
Right. Yeah.
And the fact that he wrote for Beyonce and been nominated for Grammys and stuff, and he just hasn't. He just stayed himself. He's so talented. Yeah. I think
Labyrinth is dope producer, amazing musician, amazing musician.
He's everything.
Crazy. The whole family.
He's everything. He's everything. Yeah. He's crazy. So that, but then
I think he's probably one of the most talented musicians that Britain's produced.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. He really should be. Yeah, definitely. He should be a legend in my. I mean, that first album and some of the stuff he's written.
Certain man like Tiny Temple like owes him his career.
Yeah.
Facts, bro. Facts. But yeah, listen. Anyway, let's keep moving. No, okay. Were you gonna say any more about that?
No, that was it. Like Labyrinth, he's amazing.
All right, and so where can people find you next?
I'm going to be doing the video soon, so that will be coming out soon. And then I'm going to be doing a show with my choir, that's the 22nd of June. That's selling out nicely. That's going to be in the Royal Stratford East. So yeah, if people want to come down, and I'm going to be doing 2 of my originals that I do with the choir as well. And all of the vocal arrangements, they're all going to be mine. So that's a combination of me doing solo stuff and stuff with my choir. So that'll be a perfect opportunity.
Wicked, man. All right, well, tell them where they can find you, your single, like all your choirs. Like, tell them, plug
So my 2 choirs, Stratford East Singers and the Go Vocal Collective. Me, Byron Gold, everything's Byron Gold, TikTok, Facebook, everything's Byron Gold. And then, my latest single, Dancing in the Rain, is out now. Again, Byron Gold, just type in Spotify and, support the movement.
Yes, man. Support indeed. Big up Byron Gold. Can we make some noise for Byron inside, please? Before you go, we are going to play the latest single, which is Dancing in the Rain. So, we've got the sounds of Byron Gold, Dancing in the Rain. You want to hit the jingle? Yes, people, we're back. New Guardz Radio, final stretch of the show. Right. It's the chatty patty times. So, we're going to get straight into it. I know, we addressed the elephant in the room. Do you want to chat about it, or should we just move straight on?
Let's just chat about it quick.
Yeah, just a quick. I don't. You know what? I promised.
Long people.
Yeah, I promised that we weren't gonna spend
quick
too long.
Segment, like countdown thing, innit? Carol Vorderman shit. Quick, countdown thing. Let's do that quick fire on it.
So it's officially armistice. The ceasefire has been declared.
I think it's over.
It's over. A long time. It's over. Even Drake conceded.
Yeah,
he conceded.
Like, sit back now,
he conceded that it was over.
And then Buki shit people come to his house. I know
all of that weird stuff.
Like, yeah, sit back now. Innit?
All of that weird stuff needs to stop now. Like all of that foolishness. Let's keep it on wax.
What was that shooting all about? Is there any explanation
There's
for
been
that?
3 intruders to his yard, bruv.
Fire.
Yeah. But apparently it's supposed to be because of him and Weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Weekend.
Weekend sending goons.
Weekend going on gully,
Don't mess
bro.
with Abel. Don't mess with Abel.
Bruv, the only time I've seen Weekend doing violence is when he had a fight with Adam Sandler in that film, bruv.
The Weekend sent goons.
No, I don't know if the Weekend sent goons, but they're saying it's due to that. Yeah, allegedly due to that more than the Kendrick thing. But anyway, I digress. So, that beef has been dominating. Like, since our last show, like, it's still been dominating. Like, they I know that some people are going to disagree with this. I know that you're going to disagree with this. Do you think that this has been the greatest rap beef of all time?
Hell no.
No.
Are you mad?
No, definitely not.
Hell no.
But I will say,
some people are calling
that I don't think that Kendrick actually won. I think, I don't think he won. What I think, honestly, is that the biggest tune that came of it is BBL Drizzy, and that's Metro Boomin. So I think personally, Metro Boomin won. Metro Boomin.
Metro Boomin did not win.
No.
Drizzy finished.
Let's be honest. They're not like us. That is gonna be like that's TikTok video shit.
That's devastation.
Yeah, that's what mans are doing, like dance challenges.
Start dancing. That is over, man.
Yeah, no. I don't know if more, but I'm seeing a lot with the BBL Drizzy. But like they're not like us.
That's like some Soulja Boy telling shit, man. You're over from that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Even the little kids are gonna tell you.
This is a rap beef, bruv. Yeah, if you're not a rapper, you can't win it.
No. But I want to touch on the same thing that I said to you last week, at the end of last week, yeah? What I liked about it was a kind of like, all right, you know what? I don't want to beef you. I'm going to sell the beef. And that's kind of what he done. And you know what I mean? Remember, we keep talking about this.
Nasty and chip.
We keep talking about this. And that's why I liked it. Because he was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna sell the tune to whoever, like bodies it. And I just thought, it's a hard thing to do, personally. You know what I mean?
No, he went in. It was creative what Metro Boomin did. It was creative. It was creative. It inserted himself into the beef because man said, "Shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga." Like, you know what I'm saying? And like he was like, "All right, cool. All right, is that where we're going?" So he came with something. He used a little AI flex as well with the loops that he used with the vocal loops. But like he inserted himself into the beef in a funny way. So yeah, go on.
And no, I'm funny that because you're saying inserted into it, but the person that got himself out of the beef, pause. Is he pausing me? Anyway, Anyway, the guy that took himself out of the drama was like J. Cole. And that actually.
Say to Nas as well. Say to Nas.
But that segues into.
I see what you did there. I
segue.
Yeah, that's a dope segue. Okay, that does segue into. So Black Thought shared a story. Where he said that he felt that J. Cole might have been a little bit scared off by an album idea that J. Cole proposed to him. So I'll read a piece of the article. So Black Thought is one of the most feared rappers alive, ask Jay-Z, but he doesn't always need the power of his pen to scare off fellow MCs. During an appearance on This Week in some podcast, the Roots lyricist revealed that J. Cole once reached out to him to doing a joint album together, but Thought's old answer inadvertently caused the Dreamville rap star to back away. I don't know the brother well, but he and I talked about doing music together at one point. At the beginning of 2018, right, time ago, he hit me like, "Yo, let's do an album." I told him to send me some music. I told him I was with it. It wasn't send me some music to see if I want to do it. It was more like, let me see what you're thinking. He sent me a batch of beats and it all felt close to something a bit Roots-centric. At the time, I was trying to sort of step outside of what I'd done with the Roots and I didn't feel like we were lining up. So I asked him to do a different batch and I gave him an explanation. And I think my explanation, scared him off. Maybe some of the trigger words that I was using, like I want something hard, this beat isn't aggressive enough. He wasn't on that. He was on a peaceful journey. So, like... First of all, I got two questions.
In a field of daffodils, man. Daffodils, man.
do you feel that J. Cole was scared off, or he was just in a different headspace? And is there a situation where Black Thought comes to you to do an album and you would like say no, or would you feel intimidated, or would you feel like yes, let's go? Do you know what I mean? Or let's talk about
that sounds like it sounds like they're different visions, kind of thing. Cause Black Thought. Well, look at it like this. Black Thought's one of the most dangerous fucking MCs in the history of hip hop, right? Like, he's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Do you know what I mean? So I can see where trying to do an album with some. Listen, me and Ray are working on a project together. Might have been a little nervous trying to come back to back with it. I might have rewrote some shit. You know what I mean? Because I think he's one of our illest lyricists, like in this UK HH scene. So J. Cole looking at a Black Thought, wanting to do a project, but J. Cole is a fantastic lyricist. So there's no reason for him to be intimidated because of how good he is. He, of course, J. Cole and Black Thought on a track be phenomenal, let alone an album. So I don't know.
The thing is, I've heard J. Cole do tracks with a hell of a lot of artists, especially in the past 3 to 4 years. There's a tune that he done with Benny the Butcher the other day, and obviously, like, he killed that shit. He had a really, really heavy. In fact, people would argue that it was the what?
Tryhardian. That's our Tryhardian verse, man. But Benny was just being Benny.
Yeah.
And J. Cole was just like, I'm on
I was born.
I'm on a Benny track. I'm on a Benny track with Zolde. He's saying way more shit in the verse for like what Benny probably sent it to him for. And I'm just like, this is bare Tryhardian, man. Why are you trying to slew man off on his track, man? Like, let me get my 2 pence in on this as well.
Because that's funny as hell.
You see Cole, yeah?
Yeah.
Cole to me now on this Black Thought thing, he had the idea, and Cole's of a certain age, so he liked Black Thought from a certain era. Things fall apart, maybe them roots errors, and he wanted that. He wanted that Afrocentric, soulful Black Thought. He sent that to Black Thought, and Black Thought was on that funk flex freestyle mode. It's like, I was on a kill shit. Talking about you. You're relevant as relevant, so if I'm coming on some shit with you, I have to slew the thing. The world's gonna hear it.
Yeah.
And I think that replied to him, which is like, no, that's not the one I want, man. And then he started thinking about the bars as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have sleepless nights trying to like keep up with with this pen. And he's like, nah, allow it, man.
Yeah.
Right flag, man.
It's like I said. I feel like it's probably different visions, but no rapper's gonna have an easy time jumping on anything with Black Thought.
No, never. They're gonna have to be on it. Like it's like dojo shit. But I think as well, it's a crazy one because J. Cole, he, we talked about this last time. 75% of his music, he's talking about burying soundboys, and that's why, like, people think the reason why he got cussed off or why people are cussing him off with this Drake shit is because he like, oh, I chose peace. No, it's because you've been talking in your bars about wanting smoke since day. True. And now you're like, no, peace, God. You know what I'm saying? So like this, so I think that as well, when you factor that into the fact that if you're doing an album with Black Thought and he's on some murder verse thing, like in the nicest way possible, he was.
I can't really imagine that.
What?
Like it coming out that way. I can't imagine it coming out that way. Like I can imagine him like spitting hard, but like he's always with the actual factuals. So I don't think he'll ever like be like murder bars or like
not murder. When I say murder bars, I mean like murder soundboy, not like just talking about shooting, man. Just talking about I'm the guy, you're not the guy. All these MCs are trash. That's J. Cole. Listen to all J. Cole's projects.
It's like half the
tunes.
Like you said,
like he's talking crud about man. Like I'll slew all these MCs. Anyone test my pen? What? Like and then. Man tested his pen and he was like, "Peace, God."
It's probably like you said. It's that funk flex fucking free. See that freestyle. That interestingly is probably for a lot of hip hop fans the first time they heard Black Thought. You reckon? I reckon some people some like new generation, new wave hip hop fans. That might be the first time they heard Black Thought. So. And I reckon around that time, it was almost a bit of resurgence for Black Thought before he done his album with Ninth Wonder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
and as well, it might be the first time like a lot of even people that listen to hip hop for time, Like, people are very, like, myopic in the way that they consume music. You can hear, like, Black Thought on the Roots beat. Even though you can hear that the guy is super talented, you'll think, oh, he's just on that soulful shit. When they heard him on that Funk Flex and then the album with Ninth, they were like, rah.
And people forget Big Punisher's first album.
That's what I'm saying.
He's on that going crazy.
Yeah, and this is the thing. So I think it kind of refocused, like, people's minds, like, oh, no, this guy is a beast. Like, so... That might have scared off a lot of people to feature on him.
Maybe if we're going back to Cole, like, that's what he don't have in him. So Black Thought is that soulful rapper. But when it comes to the crunch, he will fucking let all his aggression out in that one verse. And I think J. Cole don't have that aggression. He don't have that smoke. Do you know what I mean? The same way.
That's harsh. I think he's got it. I think he's got the. I've heard it. Like Fire Squad.
I'm just saying maybe he doesn't have it in his heart to do that.
Oh, in his heart.
Whereas obviously, man's an ill lyricist. Man can write a nasty verse, but I don't think he really wants to. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas Drake's sitting there, like soulful R&B singing, Drake sitting there, but he's like, yeah, I can shell off. Write something about me. I'll write something straight back about. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, man, I think that's probably the difference. Like, Drake's waiting for it. He loves the beef, like we say every time.
It's like Ray was saying last time, innit? It's like Drake wants that validation. So any reason to kind of show that I can rap, guys, then he will do it. And I'm not mad at that. I don't think that's corny. I think that's hip hop. But
so to cut you, I was talking more on the Young Bucks the other day about the battle, and he's a big Kendrick and Drake fan, but he says he's more of a Drake fan, and he was breaking down like his analysis of the battle, and he was like Drake won, like basically. He's a young man. He's biased because he's a fan of Drake. Yeah, he's a fan of Drake. And then when I kind of broke down like my analysis on the battle and both the artists, man started like jumping ship a bit, man. Yeah, he started jumping ship. But it's interesting what he said, man.
But also when you think about who Kendrick portrays himself to be and who Drake portrays himself to be, Drake portrays himself to be the type of person that would like any kind of notoriety or anything that gets his name trending. Whereas Kendrick, he's the type of person that, you know, well, not that I know the guy, but, you know, he comes across as the type of person that did it for integrity's sake. Because the way he dropped his bars and done the tunes, it was almost like to say, it's a defamation of character, and just to out this guy of being a clown and being like, why are you even...
They showed like a 2017 interview, it's funny you should say that, of Kendrick, and I saw it on Instagram earlier, and he was talking with some guy in the steps, and he was basically saying that I've been shining since I've been young. That validation, as in Drake, i.e., you need to do that to be that guy. I never needed to be that guy, he said. I was that guy in my hood. I was that guy in school. He breaks it down. So he goes, so why in hip-hop now do I have to come out and just, I'm this guy because I got the money and wear all these chains. He said, I didn't need to be that guy. I was always the guy. So he's taking shots on Drake.
But he did the right thing by proving himself on that one, because it don't matter who you were in your hood. If you are that guy, then if someone tests you, you've got to bring it back. Yeah. So fair play to him.
Bring it home for his hood, bruv. It's Champions League out here.
But the same way, that's why my feelings do stay the same about J. Cole. He's like, I love J. Cole. I probably listen to J. Cole most out of the three of them.
Okay.
But like, I'm sorry, I never meant to do that shit. Like, bruv, I ain't trying to hear that, bruv. I'm a hip-hop fan. I want this fucking... you know what I mean? I don't want to battle no one. But if someone sent a diss track to me, you best believe I'm coming back. You think I'm going to sit back?
I'm going to say
this something... This is hip-hop, bruv. We don't do that shit, bruv.
I'm going to say something controversial. I feel like Drake is Arsenal. He's been in front all season. But you know, all you need is one day. All you need is one day.
Spurs,
that's what I'm gonna say.
Definitely Spurs. You got
let's see.
Illis Stadium concerts.
I'm man just come and do that.
Wow.
Hey, let's see what happens in the next show.
Oh shit! Is that how you
I'll let that slide if you do the job for us tomorrow, innit?
So who's Spurs? Metro Boomin.
Nah. He's game. No, he's ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, we played well though.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, listen. All in all, I think like it's been an epic battle. I mean, even people who've not been into the artists have kind of like tuned in just because it's been like It's been. I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. No.
And you ended up talking about it for 20 minutes.
End the conversation right now. Cut.
How? How did it happen?
We said we weren't gonna talk about it.
Okay. All right. So we're moving on swiftly. Okay. So ultimately, do you think that J. Cole was intimidated to do the album?
Yes.
I feel like it's probably a difference in visions. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. Fuck knows, bro.
Yeah.
But I think the visions thing, by going what Black Thought says, obviously I read the article when you sent it in the group. By going what Black Thought says, maybe it was a difference in visions, man.
Yeah.
I don't think J. Cole's trying to make them aggressive tracks like that.
Yeah, it probably was.
With or without Black
Wouldn't on some try hard and shit.
All right, let's move on. So Ghost got a new album. Anyone listen to that so far yet? You listened to the whole thing, yeah?
I've heard that, right?
Yeah. I've listened to about 7
I heard
tracks.
the Nas track and I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, Nas track.
What's your verdict, Ray?
Jim Jones on there. Okay, my verdict. Ghost always makes like track-heavy albums. You get 14, 15, 16 tracks of Ghost. And it's been a while since Ghost has dropped the album, so I know the anticipation was high. I saw the track list. I saw a feature on like 85% of the project. I thought it's going to be one of those projects. And I think that the die-hard Wu-Tang fans are going to be like, they're going to switch off. I listened to it. It starts very strong. It's got them tunes you want to hear from Ghost. Then in the middle, kind of just like, it gets lukewarm in the middle. And then at the end, it finishes with some R&B shit. But just before the end, he comes in, penultimate track, talks about Supreme Clientele 2, almost to just say that, I know my diehard's not going to really like this shit.
Is that what he said?
No, but he just comes in, second to last track, like, yo, and he's just talking, doing some shout-outs, and he goes, Supreme Clientele 2, yo, coming, yo. And it's like, why did you say that on this album? It's like,
so
and
random.
the way the album ends, and it's so random to just come in, because he knows, innit, the diehards are not going to like
feel
that
it.
shit. They're going to like the first 4 or 5 tracks, and then they're going to just, they're going to night all in it, innit? But I love Ghost, man. I'm waiting for Clientele 2.
So what? You were telling me earlier that you found out that Kanye is producing the whole
Clientele 2.
Yeah.
Ghost announced that about 2 years ago. Kanye's producing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Kanye appears on the album one time as well, so it half makes sense. But the track that he appears on, it got dissed because they said that Ghost used it time ago on one of his old albums.
Right.
And he's done it better. Know the actual sample and even the way he flipped it. And so now Kanye is on an update version that's not so good. So it might not fare well for Clientele 2, but hopefully Clientele 2 is still good, man.
Yeah,
I like that album. To me, because I'm a Ghost fan, it's nothing Ghost ain't not done before. He had that R&B album. He had that Wizard of Tony album with all R&B tunes. Then he had the Pretty Tony album, Missy on it and all.
You know, Ghost likes his flash shit sometimes.
He might do some commercial R&B type shit. And he's crying on the tunes.
I weren't surprised. Because that's the thing. Like where I stopped listening to it, not because I didn't like it. Where I stopped listening to it because I was like commuting or whatever.
He's got some reggae shit.
Like no, that tune was hard though. I like that. That do sound English though. Like, but yeah, no, I like that tune. But I think where it started getting more on the R&B side, I was like not shocked. I was not shocked. I was like, I've heard bare Ghost tunes like this
songs
before.
like this before.
Like, yeah. So I wasn't.
Certain man were like, oh no, it's not.
Yeah, I see a couple man go, this is not hip hop.
There's like it's the detriment of the Wu fans, innit? Like because Wu made such good fucking hip hop.
Yeah.
Anything that don't sound half like 36 Chambers,
It's just
them fans are like cut off, and
Yeah.
you know,
This don't
Ghostface
sound like Wu. Like.
Ghostface Killer, one of the most phenomenal rappers that ever fucking touched a mic, one of the most aggressive rappers. He's gonna do what the fuck he wants, man. Obviously, you know, I know Ghost, we're cool in that. Like, he's gonna do what he he's gonna do what he wants, innit? And like, people just need to fucking leave it alone. Like, listen to the tracks you like, innit? Like, if that's what it is, because these artists, they be making that same shit their whole life. They're trapped in the Wu box sometimes. Like, Raekwon's got flack for coming out of that kind of, you know, Raekwon, I feel like Raekwon sometimes always wanted to be more of a rap star, like, kind of thing than trapped in the Wu dungeon. Yeah. And we all know his best chamber's that Wu dungeon. But let him fly, man. Like, he had that album with Future on it, and do you know what I mean? Like, let him have it, man.
I mean, you touched
Fans
on that,
need to leave it
I
alone.
remember when we was watching the series, because we kept on like messaging each other, like, oh, did you watch that episode? Did you watch that episode? And you could tell Raekwon, the guy that acted as him, but like in the show even, he was trying to step out, branch off, do other things, and he was quite. He felt like repressed by just doing doing it the Wu-Tang sort of formulaic way.
I feel Raycon did that from his second album onwards, man. Yeah. Until he released Cuban Links 2, he did that from his second album onwards. Yeah. Just tried to make those kind of tracks that will get him out there like that. But the thing with Raycon was just like, he was always in that. From Cuban Links, man, maybe that's the monkey on his back like Nas is Illmatic. These diehards just can't get over the album. Man's 50-odd years old now. Raycon's probably touching 50. He's like, he's not going to make another Cuban Links, but it's nice he made that for the fans, number 2. Yeah. But he's never been in that box since that album, and they want that back. And
Raycon's always struck me as a little bit... No, but he's always struck me as a little bit bitter about his place in hip-hop. Obviously, he's mad respected as a Wu member, but as a solo artist... I feel like he feels like he should be a rap star.
That's it's like I said, he's always tried to leap into the box of the Kanye's or the Drakes or like whoever.
He's always held that against RZA. Like he's always held that against RZA because he feels like that's RZA's fault. It's like
no, I feel personally every single member of that group had the same opportunity to do what the ones that Blue did. Because when you think ODB and Meth. They're like independently, they've got just as much of a following. They went mainstream.
I'd say
like, you could say that if you want, but like regardless, like they collaborated. Collaboration, like the thing is, you always marginalize yourself if you're not willing to look outside the box and do things that like I don't know, just test the waters. Like the fact of the matter is, ODB he didn't have to make a song with Mariah, but he thought fuck it. Like because he's got that mentality, and guess what? He tried a thing, and it paid off. What's that saying? Fortune favors the brave. You know what I mean?
I'd say apart from ODB, obviously rest in peace. Meth's probably the only one that's jumped out of that Wu box successfully.
Ghost as well.
And Ghost as well, but just look at the reviews straight away on this album.
But like, there's been albums where he's already jumped out his songs. When he did with Missy, Push, and all them tunes.
But like, look at OD. If ODB was still
and shit, like
absolutely, actually, you're right. Ghost as well.
Yeah,
but but ODB, if he was still alive now, he'd be doing mad auto-tune shit. He'd be doing it. You know he would. Of course he would. And we'd be loving it up. Yeah. But then other people might be like, well, it doesn't sound like it. Sound out that.
But this is the thing. ODB, I think out of all of them, if we're honest, ODB made the most of his talent because he was probably, in terms of like, as an MC, he was just random, innit? Like, but for him to become like a pop star, is the maddest thing. It's like you're the most randomest crackhead that you saw on the corner becoming like Miley Cyrus.
I was in crazy. Tesco the other day and he was on the sound system in Tesco. I was like, what ODB!
I've got to say this though. I've got to say this though. It's a lot easier to be more malleable and more prone to like changing your style up if you don't. Not say that like he is the art of no style, but he didn't write. He didn't really have the pen like that. Yeah. So because he didn't have the pen like that, and he's just doing whatever he feels like doing, it gave him that kind of
a vibe and energy.
That drunken master.
ODB was the energy. They said even on a Mariah track, they said that he came to the lab. You know the story that we watched the thing, and he wanted beer, Heineken's or something, and they wanted fags and Heineken. They bring it. He smoked fags and Heineken. He wrote 2 lines. He fell asleep. He woke up, he went in the booth, done something. He done some madness when he recorded that. Yeah. That's a hit record. That's got millions, man. Only one of a kind, man.
Yeah, man.
But the Ghost album overall, as a Wu-Tang fan, and Ghost being one of my favorite members of the Wu-Tang, I like it. It's nothing that Ghost ain't done before, man. He splurged it. He's trying to come in with a new era. He's got a little bashment song on there. I thought my YouTube went into like adverts and I was still playing that, man. When it's some advert thing, I heard some bashment thing there. And Java turned to me and goes, that's what I thought as well, man. I thought it was on the adverts. I like it. As well. I like it.
Just to the guys that are like, I don't like it. It don't sound like how God. Listen, it's okay to like other things. Yeah. You don't always have to listen to boom bap. Yeah. It's fine. There's other stuff. Like, some of your favourite rappers are going to go down different lanes. Support them. Don't fuck them off.
But it's okay. It's all right not to like it as well. But, like, it's just leave people to do what they're doing.
I think he done that for the people and the masses and just, like, to reintroduce myself as Ghostface in 2024. And this is me. And then he's going to appease the diehard fans with clientele too. I feel that's the angle with all this new Ghost material. Yeah. He's done dope shit, band shit. You know, bad, not good, 12 reasons to die, all of that. That shit is great.
Hard. Creative stuff.
Yeah, Yeah, Adrian Young and all that. Great stuff, man. So Ghost knows what he's doing. So
exactly.
I got faith that when Clientele comes out, boom.
Yeah, he knows. He knows how to get together a project. Okay, we're gonna move on to something not so fun, but it does touch us all. Pause. Sorry, but yeah, small venues are closing, and this particular story was about Bristol, but this could apply to everywhere really. So the headline is Bristol bands struggling as small venues close. Band members are said they're struggling to continue to make music as the cost of living crisis continues. I'm going to skip to this part here where it says, Miss Woods, who's the chief executive at Help Musicians and its sister charity Music Minds Matter, has said that the cost of living crisis has affected everyone, including places where musicians traditionally earn money and grow their fan bases, such as music venues and pubs, who are having to make difficult decisions about the number of events that they can afford to put on. While touring was once a vital income stream for musicians, it's become increasingly challenging and increasingly expensive to navigate. The price of fuel, accommodation, the paperwork required, and even food have all risen, which is putting further strain on musicians being able to break even when they're out on the road, never mind turn a profit. So, with your experiences as musicians, as rappers, we all come from the same place. We all do this together, and we've all branched out and done it. Ray, you're going to Germany soon. We went to Spain on tour last year. We've been doing our events, for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Mode here, they've been putting on events, and we've had conversations like this with Jay and everyone at the station really, and like Mateo as well. I think, what is your perspective on how the music industry, in terms of like small venues especially, has changed since? Or has it changed since after COVID? What's your feeling?
Since like COVID times?
Especially since COVID times, but in general.
It's been cutting down since before COVID, because I can remember a time when we first come in and we was just like fresh to this shit, and there was like all kinds of shit going on. Kung Fu was going on. We were going to Cross Kings. I lied, there was multiple things. Even when we weren't doing that, there were things popping up. Yeah. But now it's like they're few and far between. Yeah. It's been happening since about the 010s, I'd say. 09s, 8s, 9s.
I definitely, I feel like slowly, but then
slowing up.
Yeah, but definitely since COVID, I feel like, because we experienced it firsthand. Like, rest in peace Nambuka, because we had our seasonal jam at Nambuka. And Nambuka folded because they couldn't keep the lights on. Do you know what I mean? They couldn't keep the lights on. And that was a place where iconic people have passed through. Gallagher, like Ed Sheeran was there like a few weeks before we did our event when it closed. Before it closed.
Show with Rich there.
Do you know what I'm saying? We did a show with Rich there. So there's been like so many people have passed through, but they were struggling to make any money. And especially since after COVID, a lot of them closed after, the government help stopped. But then since then, what I've noticed is that now, because, we've got our event, shameless plug, we've got our event on July the 5th at the Camden Club, which is Kaleidoscope. And basically, when we were trying to find a venue for this event, it was like either hole-in-the-wall venues in some, like, shitty cupboard place, like, somewhere in a pub downstairs in a cupboard, or XOYO.
Horrible East London place.
Yeah.
No one wants to go.
Or like XOYO.
I think XOYO's gone, to be honest.
Well, okay, well there you go. But like what I mean is like venues that size, like Coco, or like them. It's either them big venues or like hole in the wall. There's no like the in between places like Nambuka where you could hold 300-400 people.
What
these
was
venues
in our
are
budget?
closing. Yeah,
what was in our budget?
A lot of those places are closing.
Like when we're trying to put these events on and negotiating budgets and stuff like that, it's definitely been a lot harder for us as the years have gone on. I feel like generally what I'm seeing is there's far less kind of just nights, like open mics. In general, and like, you know what, us lot were rolling to so many nights before, Slam Jam, fucking everything. Like big up Slippy Skills, because Full Clip's been dope. It's been a dope little outlet for like the underground UK hip hop scene. But I feel like there's not enough of that, man. I feel like there could be so many more nights. And is that
Jam when NASA, big up NASA as well, man, because he upheld that for a long time. So it took up, but it's on along the same line, Slippy, NASA, others in the scene as well that were doing that kind of
But is it because of the smaller venues kind of charging more or closing down? What is it?
Yeah, I think like
I mean the article
inflation, the rent's going up. So these places are having to either charge more, or the amount that they were bringing in on these nights is not gonna cut it no more. So like if they can't, if acts like people like us, organizations like us, try and put on nights and we can't, and it costs more. Then these venues are gonna not have anyone to put nights on,
unless people going out. That's an interesting one because I feel like the internet, like so many people just aren't up for fucking rolling out for like I'll go somewhere if it takes me 2 hours to get there. But I'll still find my way home. You know what I mean? If I want to go, I think people aren't doing that no more. They're happy watching the little people's Facebook reels instead, or IG reels instead, than going out to events, man. I feel like it's a dying thing.
Yeah, another thing I've noticed is that some venues are closing down and then they're re-emerging as something else. And then they're like doing something different with like the kind of music they're putting on. So for example, you just mentioned Nassau, big up Nassau. Like,
big up Nassau.
And basically Slam Jam, they used to do it at the Silver Bullet. The Silver Bullet didn't really have a dress code, if you will, in terms of music. It's changed its format. It's now a new venue, and that they want different things. They're not. They've got kind of. I'm not saying they're snooty, obviously, but like at the same time, you know, like you wouldn't be able to do that kind of event there because they because they're looking for a certain type of sound. They've got a certain type of look of the venue, that and that's fine, you know, because obviously those genres of music need a place to thrive. And if they're getting a home, that's great. But then there's a lot of other places that, or a lot of other events that, you know, could utilize a space. So then it marginalizes where they can, you know, hang their coat. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, listen. Ultimately, we don't know where it's gonna go, where it's gonna lead to. But yeah, from our perspective, we see that. I don't know if less people are going out overall. There's just more like now. It's like a lot of those day parties in like Chicken Shed. Yeah. Is it Chicken Shed?
It's
the one in the old
yeah.
IKEA. Is it called Chicken Shed? Yeah.
No. Drum Shed. Where Chicken Shed come from? It's Drum Shed.
Drum Shed. Yeah. So places like that are opening where they're getting like. That's how old man, innit?
But
yeah, you know that place. That Chicken Shed. Drumstick place.
What I will just say though is they're saying it's people are not able to make music because it costs too much now. Like, what do you mean you're not able to make music, bruv? Like,
no, I think so. A lot of these bands, we're talking about like touring bands, and it's expensive. We know we did a tour last year.
Yeah, no, of course.
And the cost can add up. Like, do you know what I mean? So unless it's funded, like the cost can add up. So I think this is where that article was really talking about those bands who spend a lot of their year touring. Now with Brexit as well, like costs add up because things that were like you could just hop on a plane and go here and there. If you're on a 3-month tour, you all of a sudden it's like visa. I feel like it's not hip hop artists in that article. No, it's not hip hop artists. It's bands. But the reason why it relates to us is because we have a band.
So I hear that. And it's the band events that cost us more, rehearsals, etc. But look, I don't know. Maybe they're built different. We're hip hop artists, brother. We make the shit happen. We hustle. We fucking make sure we got the money to put our shit down. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like I don't know. Maybe these man like them man are eating cans of tuna. Like that's never gonna happen. That's what it says in the article, bruv. That's never gonna happen in my life. You think I'm eating a can of tuna, bruv? Like, nah, man. I'm always gonna.
Maybe I'll fry that up and there's some bits to that, man. Some garlic and peppers and shit. And
like, what?
Listen,
you can still make it work.
If music ain't making you money, you need to hustle up somewhere else and then invest in yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we can all do it, man. You need to, like, expand your skill set. Do you know what I mean? If like you're upset that you're not able to do music, of course you can do music. You can always, like, if you've got your guitar, you can do music. You know what I mean? If you've got a mic and you've got someone who can record you, you can do music. There's ways of doing it, man. Like, hustle up. It's not, you know what I mean?
I hear that.
But not shots.
We'll wrap it there. All right. So, first of all, we're going to say thank you to our guest, Byron Gold. He's no longer with us. He's gone home. He's no longer with us. He's gone home. So, big up, Byron. Big up, Byron. And all that's left to say for another month is... Guardz up! All right.